Hello YouTube, it's your boy again, Zulu Boy Mechanic. So I have a 2009 E450 and I'm just doing the front brake pads and rotors, and I thought I can just show you a quick video on how to do this job. As you can see right there, that's the big guy, the rotor, which comes with the hub, and I have my caliper, brake pads inside. So I will show you how to do this job. Just a few tools that you need. Of course, you're going to need a hammer. Need a bungee cord. That's just to keep your caliper up, not hanging on its brake line. And I just have my mallet hammer for driving in a new seal, as I'll show you. And right here, of course, I have my impact. I'm doing this job outside, so I can't use a compressor or anything, so I'm just using my impact 20 volt half inch, which is perfect for this job. I have my breaker bar, half inch drive, my half inch ratchet, side cutters just to remove the pin that holds the cap in place, and my punch for punching that seal out, as I need to reuse these good bearings. And to remove this big nut here, I had to use number 27. Works perfect. You can use, I think, also inch and 1/16. It'll work as well. And 7/8 was just for the lug nuts. There's 8 of them. Yeah, and I just have my brake clean as well, as I'll need to clean some few things here as I do this job. New parts. I got the seal, Timken, the best out there. And I have the new brake pads, severe duty. They're very good for what this guy does with his truck. And right here I have my new rotor. As you can see, it does come with a hub. You cannot separate these ones. And there's the tone ring for the ABS. The races for the bearings are already installed, so all I need is just the bearings, and I'm going to repack them and install the new seal at the front here. Get this going. Yep. Hold on. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead here and remove the caliper, which is held by number 13s. Since I'm working outside, I have my rag, so I can keep everything, in order without losing it. I was just using the vise just to hold the sliding pin, because it was turning as I was taking that nut out. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to flip the caliper over, just like that, then slide it out. So the caliper is out. I'm going to need to clean this caliper, clean that pin right there, and put some grease on the sliding pin. In the meantime, I'm just going to use my bungee through the hole and strap it around the shock so it doesn't hang on the line. Just like that. And like that. That's perfect. So there's no weight on the line. The weight is here. My ABS line is free. It's just sitting right there. There's no problem with it. But now go ahead and remove the old pads. There was still some life on it, but they were pretty much done. It's best time to change them anyways. The rotors, there's so much lip on them. They do look perfect from afar, but when you come close and do the measurement, they're not good. And now we need to remove the caliper bracket, which is number 21. Again, keep everything in a nice spot. By the way, I did break these ones with my breaker bar already, so it's not that easy all the time. And the bracket is out. Same thing with this one. I'm going to clean it with a wire brush before installing it. Okay, so now we only have the hub remaining. That's our next thing to remove. I'm just going to go ahead and use that number 27. And use my stubby extension, that's 1/2 inch drive. Alright, so there's my my nut. It's out. And the next thing is just to get the bearing out, the outer, right there. I'm gonna do a quick inspection on it just to make sure it's still good. I don't see any problem with it. This is okay to be reused. I could have bought new ones, but for some reason that slipped my mind, so I'm going to reuse this, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's the outer one. Of course it's smaller, and there's that washer behind it, or a lock. So the next thing here is just to pull this hub out. So there's a technique. If you wanted to reuse that seal which is behind here, again, you can put the nut back, and then pull the hub out. The seal will still stay behind, but in this case I'm not reusing anything other than just the bearing, so I'm just going to go ahead and slide this guy out. Right there. So that's the seal, which I'm going to get it out and take the inner bearing, clean it, repack it, and reuse it. So the next step here is just to wipe this guy down. E450. All right, so I'm just going to push the inner bearing out. As you can see now, everything's facing down. I just put something underneath. I'm working outside. I don't want to get anything dirty. So what you want to do now is you pound that bearing out. You want to put your punch right there, and just slightly tap it out. It's not heavily tight in there, no, it's just soft. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's out. Let's flip it over. Okay, so there is my inner bearing. Same thing, it's all greased up really nice, so there's no burns or anything. They still look perfect, so I'll go ahead and reuse them. I'll just clean them and repack them. I'll show you how to do that. And this was the seal right outside there. I mean, if I was stranded, this seal wasn't leaking, and it's grease again, not oil. I could just clean it and reuse the same seal if I was in a tight situation, but I'm good. I have everything with me, and that's the race right there. And this one, as I said, it comes with the race already pre-installed, so I don't need anything here with this one. I'm done with it. Alright, so I have both bearings cleaned, and I'm just ready to repack them. From outside here, I don't have the bearing press cup or tool. You can buy that if you wanted to, but I mean, there's no need. And that's the bearing heavy duty grease that I'm using right now. So all you do is just grab some grease, place it on your palm, and then there's two ends of the bearing, of course. This side is closed, this side is more open. So where it's more open, actually, what you do is you just keep tapping on that grease and turning, and you notice that the old grease will start pushing out. That's exactly what you want. That means the new grease is coming in, the old one is going out. Okay, so that's all you do. You just do this all around, and you want to see the fresh grease coming through. Okay, so there's lots inside. It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it. Don't be like some lazy mechanics that I've seen in the past. Instead of doing this, they just smear the grease around. That doesn't help at all. There's nothing inside. If you're gonna do the job, do it the proper way. Don't take shortcuts, because it doesn't help. Keep your customers happy, and you'll be always a happy mechanic, or a shop owner, or whatever you are. Don't rush it. Take your time. Okay, so there's just old grease outside. That means new grease has gone in. This one is perfect. So I'm just gonna place it down here and do the second one. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and install the bearing onto the new hub. So remember, it faces inward, not the other way. It won't go. So it's gonna face the tapered side. We'll go first. So down like that. Just try to keep your hands as clean as possible. You don't want just leftover grease all over the place, especially on the surface of the rotor here. We're gonna clean this with brake clean. Removes, this coating on this surface. All right. So if you look very close here, you will see that there's a recess or a seat right there for the for the seal. Sorry, there's too many vehicles passing by and motorbikes and all that. So you want to make sure the new seal, it hits there, it sits all the way. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I have my new seal here. There's some grease on it because I was just trying it just to make sure it's the right one. And I'm gonna go ahead, and again, it doesn't face down that way, but it faces up. Just like that. I just pushed it down, then I can feel it going. And then what you can do, few options. You could just take just cut that block of wood and drop it there and tap it gently to get that seal down. Or if you have a block that's wide enough to cover the whole the seal, you can use it as well. Of course, this is too wide, it won't go in there. But this can work for me outside here. I can use it. But if you have the tool for pushing that seal in, you can use that, or you can just take the old seal, skin it, and face it down like that, and then just go ahead, tap it around. That will help you to drive that one, the new one, in. As I said, if you have a nice block, clean, you do the same thing, you put it up, and then go ahead and drive it in. Of course, you want to make sure this goes all the way down. Like I can see, one side is perfect, it's just this side. And you can hear the sound, changes once the seat is set in place. So if we look closely here, you can see it's all sealed from outside. There's no need to push this thing further in, and just clean and everything. Go ahead and clean this protection that they use on the rotor surface. I'm just using brake clean. I'm just gonna wipe this. Not too bad. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright. Just gonna go ahead and install my new hub. This is clean now. So that's my ABS sensor, and that's the cable right there. So I mean, you can wipe that down as well, especially the tip that picks the torn ring from this hub. Gotta keep it clean. Yeah, it's heavy, but not that too heavy for a mechanic who does this every day. All right, so I have that in place, and remember, there's nothing holding it. There's no outer bearing yet, so if you let go, it's just going to drop, and you don't want that to happen. You can damage your seal on the other end. So now I'm just going to go ahead and install the outer bearing. Before doing so, what I did inside the hub here, actually I did apply some grease inside just to keep everything lubricated. So I'll go ahead right now and same thing, install the outer bearing. As you can see, there's the tapered side, so you want that in first, not this way. Of course it won't go, but I mean, some people might struggle putting it the wrong way, but right there. Okay, now it's in place. That's going to help me keep that rotor in place. It's not dropping because there's both bearings, and I need to put this inside. But remember, just keep supporting it. And that's in. Remain supporting that. The next step is to install the same old nut. We didn't change anything. We didn't change the spindle. Still the same threads, everything. So there's no need to use a new nut. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just tighten that by hand. So I'm just gonna snag it all the way. Probably that's about what, 40 foot-pounds, just to sit that bearing. And then now what I need to do is just back it slightly, okay, and then go ahead and just tighten by hand again. So what I'm going to do later on, once I have, you know, my bracket pads and caliper in place, I'll put the wheel and then check for play. So you don't want any play there. If there is excessive play, what you do is you remove that cap and the quarter pin and tighten the nut. And if it's way too tight, you know, do the same thing, remove the seam and loosen it slightly and double check. You don't want no wheel to be wobbling on the road and eventually causing, you know, some serious damage, even, you know, accident, just because the bearing came out or the wheel short with the hub and everything. So you don't want that. So do the job right. So that I will do as my final check. So for now, I'm just going to leave the way things are with this hub and go ahead and finish up with these brakes. So I've gone ahead and depressed the pistons. It's a dual piston. Depress them back so I can be able to install new pads. As I said, I like to clean everything. This dust is not good. I should be wearing a mask. It can cause, from what they say, cancer. And the sliding pin, I'm just going to clean it right there. Take off some of that rust. So with the sliding pins, as I always say, the grease that's used on the sliding pins is just dielectric grease. So I have dielectric today. Just going to go ahead and apply some of it on that pin there, and the other one is on the bracket. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out and apply some of the grease and just put it back. So you want this to be free. And this is all clean. Alright, so at this point I have my bracket ready with the new hardware and new pads on. I usually set it up on the floor. You don't have to, you can just install the bracket first and do that. I'm just going to move this guy a little bit away and get my number 21. There's still some Loctite on it. I'm not going to apply fresh one, that's fine. So just go ahead and drop my bracket in place. Squeeze the pads just to help me to hold and install. The torque spec for this one is about 80 to 90 foot-pounds. Just gonna double check. Okay, that's perfect. That's still in place. My next step is to slide a caliper in place and job is almost done. Make sure you don't twist to the brake line. You just go ahead, slide in the top. Okay, and then just drop it down right there and install the caliper bolt. As I said last time, the sliding pin was turning, so I'm just going to use my vice grip here just to hold that in place. And go ahead with my number 13 and snug this guy in place. And again, just double check this in case if you'd opened it and you couldn't remember. Just double check everything so it's all tight. So that's done. Don't forget your vice grip. And again, try to wipe excess grease. Put back the ABS cable. Okay, so that's done now, and our final step is to adjust the wheel bearing. And once that's adjusted, you have the cap for the outside, and after putting the washer and the quarter pin and everything is perfect, drop some grease, which this one has grease. I mean, it's still clean grease, but I'm just going to wipe it, put fresh one, and then just put it in place, and just take your mallet or hammer and gently just take it around, and that's it, job done. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my videos and you're learning something. If there's anything that I can improve on, please drop a comment. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.